Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. How are we all doing today? It's a lovely day over here in London, so hopefully the same wherever you guys are tuning in. Let me get this chat panel out of your screen. I'll just leave it on mine. Okay, yeah. So guys, today we're going to be looking at wildcards. Yeah, this is my wildcard team. That's what I'm rocking with currently. Feel free to to just copy it if you want. Kochi says hello to you too. Hello to you too. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hello, Abbas. Morning from Toronto, mate. Tuned in for you. I'm wildcarding too. Mate, what? That's crazy. What time is it in Toronto? No way. Let me see. Time, Toronto. Oh, I can't type today. Jesus. 5 in the morning. Jeez. You're mad. Right. Good man, Abbas. Matthew says, morning. Savinho or Sar for a wildcard team? I would say that's a tough one. I would say it's probably Sar, and then maybe try to get Savinho in for someone else for their double in 33. Yeah, that would be my advice. Mello says hello to you too. Greg, good morning, Greg. Abbas Rihan, oh, the big changes is Stupinian. You have a very keen eye. You have a keen eye because I was going to get into that, but yeah, essentially I have made a change to the team. I did Ruben Diaz to Estupinian, and I'll show you guys why in a bit. But for now, I'll just say good morning to everyone and answer all your questions, and then we can get into my team eventually. Ben says, morning, how's the wild card going? I mean, this is what we're looking at right now, and to be honest, I don't see myself changing. I do not see myself changing until the deadline. We will see about that, though. We will see. After you guys maybe, ask me some questions, and I might change my mind, like I did in the last stream where I was deciding between Robinson, and Kirkez. You guys all said to play Kirkez, and he went and got an assist. Robinson got absolutely nothing. El Santo Rojo says, morning from India. Good morning, all the way from India. Geez, what time is it in India? I guess it's a bit later there, so you're all right. Mello, is Kluivert a sell? I think he's injured. Who should I get in? Yeah, I think Kluivert is injured, which makes him a sell, I suppose. So I would say Sar is a great option, depending on who you have in your team already. Mello, maybe let me know your midfield. Type out your midfielders, and then I'll tell you who I think you should get in for Kluivert. Jeevan Gul, good morning. Good morning to you too. Abbas, I'm going Nico Williams instead of Estupinian. Yeah, that's definitely a viable option for sure. Let me just look at my team real quick. And I want to see the fixtures as well for Forest next week. Forest play Everton next week, so that is a potential clean sheet that I could go for if I went for Nico Williams instead of Estupinian. Something maybe I should consider, to be honest. Yeah, definitely something to consider. Psycho Bingo says, double Liverpool defense. Their fixtures from 34 aren't really great. Yeah, I agree, but their fixtures up until then are really great, I would say. And also they're the best defense in the league. I'm not too worried about fixtures too much from them. Like, to be fair, from 34, when you look at the fixtures for Liverpool, yeah, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, like, I'll have gotten rid of them by then. That's the plan anyways, but I'm just trying to chase some upside with this team because I didn't want a wild card like everyone else had. Terry McLarney says, morning mate from a sunny Liverpool. Glad to hear it. It's sunny, nice and sunny over here in London as well, so we're having a good day. So we are. Good day for the footy. Koshi D Jedi says, can I put Son GameWeek 31, Saka 32 and Marino from Murphy 33? You can, for sure. I think Son is a really nice punt this week. Abbas Rihan, should I go Gordon instead of Murphy if I can afford it? You know what? Before I answer that question, I wouldn't want to answer it without have an absolute certainty on if Gordon is starting or not. Just so you guys know, whenever I want to figure out like the likelihood of a player starting, I go to at Jump the Wave Emma. She is brilliant for these predicted lineups, and she does these predicted lineups where each column is a trusted predictor in order from left to right of predictor skill. So the best predictor in her eyes, or statistically, I think they have their own system of scoring based off their historical accuracy. This guy in this column is the best predictor of lineups for that team. Let's go to Newcastle and see, is Gordon supposed to start? Gordon only has a 7% chance of starting. Although the first predictor, the guy with the highest accuracy, is the one saying he will start. To be honest, not enough for me. I would say stick with Murphy in that case, just because it's such a close one between them anyways. So we know Murphy's going to start. I think, where's Murphy? 100% starting. So yeah, I would stick with Murphy. Although if Gordon was fit, I would have said Gordon for sure if you had the money. Terry McLarney, AM choice this week, 0.8 mil in the bank for a manager. Yeah, I think. I mean, it depends. Let's look at the managers and see their prices, because I think Potter could be a really good pick this week, and he's only 0.5. Yeah. Also, Thomas Frank is another good one, but I like Potter this week, personally. Yeah, that would be my answer. Let me go back up here now. Okay, hello from China, Kitoscope. Hello. Psycho Bingo, Shar not worth the extra over Burn / Livermento. Just with the team that I have here, I think he is worth the extra. But I just don't have the funds for it. Like, if I could afford him, he would be in my team. In fact, sorry, I actually can afford him. I can afford Shar. But just the way that I'm looking at my team, I want to get rid of Murphy in game week 33, and I want to upgrade him because he's so cheap. Like, Murphy is ridiculously cheap, so there's not many players around his price point. I would only be able to get up to like 5.2 mil or something. So I want to have that flexibility, which is why I've gone for Burn instead of Shar. But if money wasn't an issue, I would have Shar in over Dan Burn for sure. Let's keep going with these questions, guys. Good morning, Stephen says offside footy. Good to have you here, mate. Good to have you. Good morning. Andrew Barton, gone full force. AM Potter and Captain Isak. Oh, I love that. Love to hear that. My captaincy is currently on Isak as things stand as well. Mello, my midfield is Neto, Semenyo, Saka, Salah and Kluivert. Okay, so I would say, Kluivert is the one to make way there. I like Sar. I would say Kluivert to Sar is probably the move I would go for. Jeevan Gill, start Konsa or Munoz? I'd start Munoz for sure. El Santo Rojo, start Savinho or Sar? Again, I would probably start Sar there. I would start the Crystal Palace player. Jules OB, morning, good morning. Have triple Newcastle, Palace, Arsenal and City. Want to play assistant manager on how Arteta. Would you transfer out for free Burn to Milenkovic to free up a Newcastle slot? Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. You know what? If you're going for it, like, it depends as well on your strategy. If you have a free hit in 34, because you probably want to keep all your Newcastle players, but if you're absolutely set on getting Howe in, then yeah, I would say Dan Burn is the one to make way. But if you're not absolutely set on Howe, then I would say Potter or Thomas Frank are a good pick this week. Abbas Rihan, any reason for choosing Burn over Livermento? His data is much better, his expected minutes are much better, injury history. Yeah. His expected goal involvement is higher than Livermento's. So, why have you dropped Josko for double Liverpool? So the reason I've done that, Matthew, is because when I look at the clean sheet odds, I always try to just pick the team with the highest clean sheet odd. So like Liverpool in this case has 36% chance of a clean sheet compared to Man City with 27.5. And also if we look at Rob T, another projection, he has, let's see here now. So Man City have a 20% chance, 27% chance of a clean sheet. And who is the other team? Liverpool. They have 34% chance. So they have a higher percent chance. It probably, it's probably a 50-50 because realistically I should be spreading the risk and just getting one Man City, one Liverpool. Because will Man United score against Man City? Will they? I cannot see that happening. But at the same time, I feel like Man United are such a bogey team for City, so like they can just get a goal out of nowhere from them. So it's a tricky one. But yeah, I've gone for just the statistical edge with getting the double Liverpool instead of City. Let's hope it pays off. Putting all the eggs in one basket, to be fair, not always a good idea. Not always a good idea. So let me go back to my team for you guys. And let me crack on with the rest of these questions. So, okay, there's a few. I'm going to try fire through these new ones now because they're coming fast in. Anonymous L, hey, why not go Palmer now and switch to Saka on game week 33? Yeah, it's definitely playing on my mind. It actually is. It actually is. It's it is something that I want to consider. It's just, and also when you say that, like I look at Arsenal's predicted lineups, and Saka has a 64% chance of starting, which to me is like, it's like that's high, but it's maybe not high enough. Whereas Palmer is always guaranteed to start. So it is something I'm considering, to answer your question. Let's keep going. That guy explains it, says, why start Mourinho over Sarr? I just think Everton have a higher chance of conceding than Brighton do. And that I also think Arsenal always have a higher chance of scoring than Palace do. And he's playing up top. I just like the upside of it, to be honest. Andrew Barton, my team about to be put in an embargo. Cannot buy a player for 3 transfer windows. Chairman is worse than Ashley and probably Danny Rowe's last game. Fair play, lad. Nathan, hi mate, love your streams. Super chill to listen to. Well, Nathan, welcome in anytime, mate. OV Stephen, your rank of best table bonus assistant managers to play. My rank would be, I would say I really like Potter this week, followed by Thomas Frank, and then Eddie Howe. I would say those are my top 3. I just like going for that table bonus. Although, sorry, Eddie Howe isn't in the table bonus conversation, but I would say Potter is my favorite. My favorite strategy, if you're assistant manager in this week, is Potter this week, followed by Glasner for the next 2. You get 4 games for 2 with that. So, actually, you get 5 games for 3. So yeah, that's my ranking. Yo Henry says that Newcastle predictor has Isak 100% start. That gives me faith for captaincy. Me too. Can't say I didn't look at that and think the exact same. I've got the captaincy on Isak, and that gave me a lot more confidence in him starting. Larry Jones says, is Mourinho at risk of being rotated out for Trossard? I would say there's always a risk. Just to go back to the predictions again, like we can see that Mourinho has 100% chance of starting. Where is he? 100% chance, according to all the proven predictors. So I would say it is a risk, but not a high risk. I think according to, based off talking to Arsenal fans and seeing a lot of the narrative around Mourinho and Arteta in particular, it seems like Arteta is happy to stick with the plan with Mourinho up top as long as it's working, which it is. So there you go. Kochi says Palmer or Son game week 31. I would say Son for sure. Son. Who are your top picks? Jimbo the Daddy says, who are your top picks in each defense, midfield, and attack on wildcard that are differential because I'm trying to catch up 100 points in my mini league? So my top defender pick right now, I would say is probably Dan Burn or Shar, just a Newcastle defender with the fixtures they have coming up, the double game week, the fact that they play in 34. It depends. It depends on your free hit strategy. If you have your free hit left, Jimbo the Daddy. So if you don't have it, then Burn is a great shout. If you do have it, Someone like, I mean, honestly, I think that Liverpool defense is becoming a bit differential. I've gone for two of them. I don't think a lot of people are going for them, but I really like it. Psycho Bingo says Aston Villa players look like a complete minefield. Are any of them even worth going for? I like Asensio the most, even with the dodgy minutes. I actually also like Asensio as well, but I agree. It is a bit of a minefield. The reason I'm put off them is because the fixtures in their double game week in 33 aren't good at all, and they have so many. Like they have FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League. There's so much chance of rotation there. You just never know what the lineup is going to look like on the day. I think, like you said, bit of a minefield. Nitin Desai says, morning, good morning. Who would you captain order be? I would say Isak followed by Salah, followed by Son. Top three for me. Ifran Sake says, oh, you've given your whole team. Yeah, I'm just reading it out. It looks great. If that's a wild card or not, either way, brilliant team. Gathers Squall says, use an assistant manager finally. How Arteta for a -4 or 3 times Arteta. I like the upside of having How for the double game week, so I would say, yeah, it's worth the -4. Greg Conan, welcome back. I recognize you, mate. You say, let me just scroll down. No triple captain left. Bench boost in 33, the better option. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it shouldn't impact when you bench boost. The fact that you don't have a triple captain left just depends what works with your team. Like even if I didn't have my triple captain, I'd still be looking to play it, you know, in 32. So it just depends on your team. I would say bench boost on 33 is the better option in general, just in terms of the more optimal play of having more doublers. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of the teams that the fixtures for the teams doubling in 33, which is why I've gone for to bench boost all my single game week players in 32 instead. Gathers Qual says requires 2 extra transfers in total as I need to remove Burn. Okay, yeah, I see. No, I still think you should go for that. Yeah, I like it. How Arteta. Abbas Rehan says, how accurate is Emma with the predictions? Well, actually, it's not Emma making the predictions. She's just gathering all the predictions from, let me show you, from these guys. So each of these is a predictor, and they're all like from left to right. So this guy is the most accurate predictor, followed by this guy, and so on. I would say these are brilliant. Like these are really good way to assess who's going to start, who's not going to start. I like to look at this because you see this Martinelli versus Trossard. The way I look at this is like, okay, Martinelli has a 64% chance of starting according to all these predictors, but the top 3 all think Trossard will start instead on that left side. So I would say Trossard probably starts instead of Martinelli. Bit of a tricky one because overall the predictor says Martinelli, but it's kind of, you have to take that stuff into account. But yeah, I'd say these predictions are a great way to figure out who's starting and who's not. Eddie H, welcome back, mate. Savinho or Rodgers for my final wildcard spot. I really like Savinho as a spicy pick, to be honest. I would say him. But Rodgers also a great pick, don't get me wrong. I just really like the upside of a differential in Savinho. I think he's only 3% owned. So if it's that final spot, I really like to go for a bit of a spicy one, and Savinho is that guy. Harry Butt says, what do you think about Marmoush captaincy? I'm going how Arteta, and I'm 19k right now. You are in a brilliant spot, and you have your assistant manager left. That is crazy. You have a high chance of getting in that top 10k finish, so congrats to you, mate. Not a lot of us can say the same this year. But yeah, I think Marmoush captaincy, listen, it's a risk, and you didn't get to 19k without taking a certain amount of risk. So I think trust your gut with that one. He is always going to be a great pick based off what we've seen from him the past few games. So, and you know, Man United against Man City is a derby, so there could be a lot of goals in that game. Okay. Alex says, thinking of going against Raya this week as I'm chasing. Have Martinez starting at the moment because Nottingham Forest have a few injuries to contend with. Everton at Merseyside always put up a fight. Thoughts? Yeah, I really like that narrative, to be fair, and the fact that you don't want to go with Raya. I like that thought process. Alexi ASMR, have free hit 34 and triple Arsenal / Newcastle. Who should I assistant manager this week? I really like Graham Potter. I really like him. One of the Arsenal is Gabriel though. Yeah, I mean, maybe you want to get rid of Gabriel and get Arteta in for the next 3. That's another option you should consider. Andrew Barton, West Ham have not lost against Bournemouth in their last 6 games. Won 3, drawn 3. I mean, this is the sort of analysis we need. That is a really impressive record for them. So yeah, Bournemouth, maybe don't go attacking Bournemouth players this week and go for West Ham players. That's what we're looking at. Maxi Football says, would you rather own Marino or Asensio for rank push? Marino for me. Marino, he's in my team. Daisy33, Rashford over Murphy for the different pick. I just really like Murphy as a pick. I really like him. I think I know it's like, oh, we want to go differential here in certain places. For me, I really want a Newcastle midfielder. And obviously with Gordon now and uncertainty around the others, I think Murphy just provides great value there. But I would say get Rashford in 33. Murphy to Rashford in 33 is something I'm considering too. Khalid, do you think your wildcard team is good for someone with no bench boost but has triple captain and free hit left? Yeah. I think it's great. I think this wildcard covers a lot of bases. It just sets you up for the foreseeable. Like, I really like this team in the long run. So I would say yes to answer your question. C or Sai, really enjoy your content. Appreciate the time and effort. Keep up the good work. Wow, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Offside Footy F1, hello mate. Soon Villa will be out of Champions League and they will have to focus on FA Cup and Premier League. Whom would you take a punt on? Rashford / Asensio, assuming minutes not an issue. Assuming minutes aren't an issue, I think Asensio has just been lighting it up. Like, he's just been there every cutback they have in the box. Asensio is on the end of it. So if minutes weren't an issue, I would say Asensio. Jeevan Gill, start Foden or Rodgers? To be honest, sorry, I'm blanking here on who Aston Villa play. They play Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I would start Rodgers because we don't even know will Foden start, which is crazy. Yeah, that's mad. So, keeping going with the questions. Brandon Smith, hello mate. Best wildcard when you don't have a free hit? I think this is it. I think this is the wildcard. As long as you can build up your free transfers up until game week 34, you can get away with using this wildcard. I think there's 7 players in this team who blank in game week 34. So if you can make 3 transfers, then you can bench 4 of them. So you just need 3 transfers up until game week 34 to field the team in 34. Okay. Sohail, hello mate. Good to see you again. Everton versus Arsenal has been a low scoring game past few seasons. I would stick with Mourinho on the bench personally and keep Saka. You know, one thing I'm considering, guys, just following up on that question or that point you made, Sohail, like, should I just go for Palmer now and just get Saka in later? Because he plays Brentford Ipswich, whereas like Arsenal play Everton, Brentford. I don't know, guys. I think everyone going with Saka. Maybe I should just go Palmer and change it up a bit. Change it up a little bit. You know? Let's look at this. So we have the projected points, projected scorers. And like Palmer is up here with, I mean, he has such, compared to Saka, like 0.43 compared to 0.33. It's a big difference. FPL goal points, 2.14, 1.64. Should I just go for Palmer? Maybe I will. I know it's like already banking a transfer for game week 33 though, which I do not like. So maybe I just go Saka anyways. I'm torn up on that one. You make a good point though, Sohail. Like, yeah, not a high scoring game. So maybe I should just bench Marino for Sar. Maybe I should do that. Terry McLarney, play Timber, 50% chance. Otherwise, Nico Williams. Yeah, what is the situation with Timber? Let me check for you now. So Arsenal, Timber has a 50% chance, as you said. But the top 3 predictors think that he won't play. So I would say go for Nico Williams. Sorry, not that Timber won't play, but that he won't start. So yeah, Nico Williams is my answer there. So keeping on with these questions, guys, I'll fire through. Giovanni De Benedetti, hello. On wildcard, thinking about picking or not Saka, selling Palmer, and then don't know with on form Elanga. I don't really like being too template. So on wildcard, thinking about picking or not Saka, selling Palmer. So on your wild card, Saka or Palmer. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat. I'm not sure which one to go for personally. You don't like being too template, then I would say probably Palmer is the pick, which is crazy. But yeah, he's just been so out of form recently. I know he got that assist, but just I think one thing to consider as well is Jackson is back. Jackson is back in that Chelsea team, like, and he changes the way they play so much. I know he wasn't finishing any of his chances that Palmer was making for him before, so keep that in mind. It's not the perfect pick, you know, but I think if you want to change things up, then probably go for Palmer over Saka. Daisy33, hi, I love the vids very much. Thank you very much. I've got Murphy, Sar, Marino, and don't know which to bench. I would bench. I mean, right now I'm benching Sar for those two, but I might start Sar over Marino. In fact, that's what I had originally. I did have that originally, so that I would say I would definitely start Murphy. It's between Sar and Marino. So yeah, probably Sar. But if you don't want to follow the crowd, then I would say go for Marino, because a lot of people will be playing Sar. What's your thoughts on starting Sar over Mateta, who would then be first bench? Yeah, it's something I've considered as well. I just think with penalties, Mateta has to be in there over Sar. It just edges it for me. Anonymous L, thoughts on going Solanke and then going Eze plus Sar? Free hit 34 would avoid Spurs' toughest fixture. Really like it. I really like that plan. Yeah. Instead of Mateta going Solanke, that is a nice little differential play you got there. Love it. David44, hey mate, hello to you. Thanks for the great content. Thank you. I'm 1.2 short to get to your draft. Wow. Where should I find the funds? Thanks. Geez, that is a big gap. I have 1.3 more with this draft. I would say the player to make way is probably Virgil van Dijk. So if you are 1.2 short of this draft, that would mean you can spend 5.3 on a defender. I mean, there's so many options you could go for, but I would say in this case, someone like Milenkovic. So I would do Van Dijk to Milenkovic is what I would do, mate. Yeah, with this draft. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Jeevan Gill, Gabriel to Kanate or just start Munoz? I like Gabriel to Kanate, actually. Yeah, I do like that. Mr. B, please help. Game week 31 to 33, Potter, Glasner, or Potter, Howe, Arteta. For me, it has to be Potter, Glasner. Playing that upside, going for the table bonus, for sure. Potter, Glasner. Okay, Gonçalo Pacheco. Do you trust in Sar, considering the fixtures? I think I would still prefer Rodgers, for example. Yeah, Sar is a very streaky player, to be honest. It's a tough one. I think I do trust Sar just based off the fixtures. They're much better than Rodgers. I know Rodgers plays Southampton next week, but in the double is what I mean. Like, they've got Crystal Palace have back-to-back doubles, so I prefer Sar in that case. Kochi, again, how many double fixtures possible after 33? I think there is like maybe 2 or 3. Depends. I just refer to Ben Crellin for all that info. But there is one. It's going to be game week 36 is where the other doubles fall. Game week 36 and 37 will be the blank. So keeping on with the questions. I really need to fire through these because I spent too long on each of these questions. I just want to give you guys the best answer possible. So Eggpan Capital. Sorry, just tuned into this. Is a bench boost 32 or 33 team? This team is a bench boost 32. Kittle, hey bro, what do you think about this draft? Pope, Henderson, Guardiola, Trips, Saliba, Van Heck, Williams, Milenkovic, Sar, Palmer, Salah, Rodgers, Eziger, Murphy, Solanke, Marmouche, Mateta. Yeah, looks great. Looks really good. Love it. Ascend, joined late. Do you have bench boost and free hit? I do. I have bench boost 32 and free hit 34 in mind with this team. Cameron, curious about why is Stupinian over Cucurella? That is a great question. I'm actually undecided on that one completely, because when I look at it, I'm basically looking to play a Stupinian in game week 33 when he plays Leicester at home, but also Cucurella plays Ipswich at home. So looking at the expected goal involvement, which is kind of how I'm making the difference here, as well as the team expected goals conceded. Brighton's expected goals conceded is much better than Chelsea's. But we look at this, and Cucurella, 0.16 expected goal involvement. I mean, it is higher than Estupiñán's. So maybe we should just go for something like that. Maybe we should. So the ones that I'm undecided on is this, Saka instead of Palmer. So should I just get 2 Chelsea players in is what I'm looking at now, which I don't know how I feel about that. Like I feel like I'm banking too many transfers there. It's an interesting one. It is an interesting one for sure. Because I'm putting all my eggs in the Brighton basket if I go for Verbruggen and Estupiñán. You know? So let me look at my team real quick, and I'll go on FPL.team so I can kind of plan ahead. So let's make this draft. We go Konate, we go Van Dijk here. No, it's Virgil in the game, isn't it? Virgil van Dijk. The other player is Dan Burn, and right now we've got Estupiñán. So that finishes off the defense. In the midfield, we've got Saka. We've got Salah. We've got Sarr. Who else do we have? Marino and Murphy. So, Marino and then Murphy to finish off the midfield. And then the attack is what everyone has, which is Marmoush here. And let me just click the wildcard button so I don't get deducted any points. Sorry, I also need to go Verbruggen in nets. So, when I look at this team, let's say instead of Saka, I go for Palmer. So that means I would have this team this week. And then next week, I would have basically bench boost this team. Sorry, I would line up like this, just so you guys know. I would actually line up like this. Or Marino for Sarr. In fact, do they have predicted points on this? Yeah. That's just assuming Marino doesn't play, to be fair. So, yeah, this is what it's looking like right now. Excuse me. Before I go completely all in on this, let's look at, does Marino have, compared to Sarr, what is his projected goals? He has more. Marino has higher projected goals. Maybe it does have to be Marino over Sarr, and just go for that. Just go for it. Anyways, what we're looking at is to bench boost this game week, and then the following game week in 33. This is how the team would look, right? So I would have all of these guys. I would have 4 at the back, which wouldn't actually be the plan, to be honest. But I would want Saka. So I would get, that would be one transfer, would be Saka in for, for Palmer, sorry. And then I could also use another transfer. To get Isak out and do something like Asensio in. You know what, boys? I think I've convinced myself to go for this. And I'm just going to pray that Saka doesn't start now. According to the predictors, though, Saka does start according to the 2 best guys. The third guy says no. But this team is possible. And then I'd bench Isak in this case, which always feels wrong. But, oh wait, no, I can't even afford Asensio. So it would have to be someone else like, oh, that's an interesting one. I can't even afford that, can I? Maybe I can with if I just check this team. Murphy to, no, I actually have 6.3, so they've got it wrong here. Maybe I've missed a step or two on the thing. But essentially, yeah, I might, boys, I'm gonna get, should I just get Palmer instead of Saka? Let's say I go with this anyways. Asensio is, let's make him Rodgers instead, right? So that it allows me, I can afford that. And then I'd free hit this week, free hit, boom. And then the next week I'd have 1 free transfer. Now, who do Chelsea play this week? They play Liverpool at home. So I wouldn't really want to, I'd probably want to play Estupiñán anyways over him, you know? Alternatively, I could also go for, if I go back a few weeks, so instead of Estupiñán from the rip, I can go for someone like Milenkovic, right? So if I get Milenkovic instead, next week I have Milenkovic. I'm bench boosting him against Everton at home, which I am happy to do. I am happy to do for sure. Then the following week he'd be benched. The next week he plays Brentford at home. So do I think Forest is more likely to keep a clean sheet against Brentford at home than... Or sorry, this is game week 34. He plays Crystal Palace away. Okay, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one because I want to bench one of these guys for this game week. So it is a bit of a sticky one. Just looking at the other options I have here, like a team that has a good fixture in 32 and a good fixture in 35 is kind of what I need. And it's slim pickings, to be honest, boys. Like Spurs, maybe. Spurs could be the one. But yeah, just looking at this, Stupinian, he's been in a nice little run of form here compared to Cucurella. Sorry, let me reset the team. And I am going to go for Palmer. I'm sorry, Saka. Why doesn't that let me? That's managers, that's why. Palmer is in the team for the next 2 game weeks. Do we think Palmer outscores Saka? Do we think so? Let me just check. There's this algorithm predictions. If we look at Palmer here. No, I've typed that in wrong. Let me reload because I don't subscribe to these guys. So that's over the next 2 game weeks, 5.3 and 8.4 compared to Saka. Yeah, Palmer has higher. Palmer has a higher upside here. Boys, we're going to go for Palmer. Saka is out for Palmer. And I think we're going to keep Marino in for Sarr. I don't love it, but just based off Rob T's predictions here, like I could see a goal for Marino in this fixture, and he's my bigger differential pick as well. So, enough waffling. Let me show you guys my team again, and I'll go back to your questions. Okay, so I've got to go back up a bit. Yes, Terry McLarney. Play Timber, 50% chance. Otherwise, Nico Williams. I think I answered that. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, the answer was Nico Williams, though. Keeping going down. Yeah, okay. Curious why it's Stupinian instead of Cucurella. Yeah, that was the decision there. Okay, Peter Weir. Bench Asensio or Eze? I would bench Asensio there. Start Savinho or Gvardiol or Sarr? I would start Sarr out of those 3. Kittle, got to pick between those square bracket picks. Appreciate your content. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Wing Chun says Son as differential captain. For sure. For sure. Really like it. Minutes problem, yes, but it's Southampton. And when Spurs are in good form, they can score goals. Abbas Rehan, you haven't reasoned you're a Stupinian pick yet, mate. Oh, yeah. I guess I explained it there. It was because I'm bench boosting in 32, so I want a good player for 32, and he plays Leicester at home, so I really like that fixture. But he could also become... Wait, this team isn't refreshed because I have got Palmer in now. Yeah, he could also become Cucurella, but I quite like how this looks at the moment, to be honest. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of my own team. Could you believe it? Okay. George Isak captain. That's what I've gone for currently. Sorry guys, before we continue, I'm just going to set a little alarm on my phone so that we know when the deadline is coming. 5 minutes before the deadline, so in 17 minutes, we'll be ready to go. So, Son instead, okay, Kittle, I think I'm going Palmer to Saka in 33. Yeah, I've just decided I'm doing the same thing. Psycho Bingo, Son instead of Saka for the next 2. Yeah, love it. Really like it. In fact, maybe that's one I could consider as well, instead of Palmer. What's Son's next 2 fixtures? I know he plays Southampton this week. Who does he play after that? Wolves away. Could be a good one. It is the minutes, though, and the form. They haven't won a game in 4 games. I don't know, boys. That could be huge, though. That could be huge. Same could be said for Palmer, though. You know, like, the form is not there. Is not there at all. Look at that XGI he's putting up, though, every game. 1.4, 1.22, 0.42. Compared to Son, 0.4, 0.2, 0.8, 0.4. Yeah, I think I like Palmer just as the upside. I think so. Okay. Reasoning for choosing Estupinian. Yeah, bench boost 32. I like his fixture there. Tudor ST. Should I captain Isak? If you want to do what I'm doing, yes. Yes, you should. Okay. Uh, oh, I've got a super chat. Okay, Milenko. Thank you for sending that. That's really nice of you. Okay, I'll answer your question. I'll give a bit of thought into this one now. So goalkeeper start Martinez versus Raya. I would say it would be Raya for me. Defensive start Konsa, Gvardiol, Burn. So I think you mean which one to start out of those three. So I would say I'd start Burn for sure. And then my second pick would probably be Gvardiol. If you wanted to start two of those, Burn and Gvardiol and bench Konsa. But if you're only starting one, Burn for me against Leicester. Midfield start Saka or Eze. Yeah, it has to be Saka. Has to be Saka there. Murphy or Savinho. Yeah, Murphy. Out of those four, I would start Saka and Murphy and bench Eze and Savinho. Not easy, but making money is never easy. Great content. Yeah, love it. So to answer your question, I would start out of all those players, Raya, Burn, Saka and Murphy. Thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to keep motoring on. Kavish Apadu. Hey mate, what is your strategy going forward with chips? So my strategy is wildcard this week, bench boost 32, triple captain 33, and free hit 34. Looks like it's the same as yourself, so good to know. Good to know. I'm in good company. Adrian Videnov. Keep Sar and go assistant manager Potter, or sell Sar and go AM Glasner. I like Potter this week, but I would look to get in Glasner next week. So if it means you have to sell a Crystal Palace player, yeah, if it has to be Sar, I mean, Sar is probably my favourite Crystal Palace player. I would actually look to get rid of someone else. I'd assume it's either Mateta, Murphy, or Eze. I'd get rid of one of those. Sorry, Mateta, not Murphy. Mateta, Munoz, or Eze. I would say Munoz is the one that would make way for me to get assistant manager Glasner in. Juan Manuel Vasquez. Hi from Spain. Which should be your bench? So my bench right now, as things stand, is Sar and Gvardiol and Estupinian and Verbruggen. That's who I'm benching. Keeping going. Start Savinho or Gvardiol or Sar? I think I answered this question already. I would start Sar. Nihar Nike says, should I play Munoz or Van Dijk this week? Van Dijk for sure. Uzor Victor. I still have assistant manager chip. When to use it? I'd use it this week. Honestly, I'd use it this week on Potter or Glasner. I would say Potter is the better pick this week, but then go for Glasner the following two. Is Timber starting? I think it's a 50-50. According to all the predicted lineups I've seen, it's a 50-50 on whether Timber starts. My analysis would be that he doesn't. But I don't have any in the know information. That's just my assumption. Either go Eze Solanke or Son Mateta, then get Saka in for 33. I like Eze Solanke there. Yeah, I do like that instead of Son Mateta. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I take it back. Son Mateta, because they both have penalties compared to the other two. That edges it for me. And then get Saka in for 33. Love it. Isak captain? Yes, sir. Dwight Shrewd says, start Konsa or Milenkovic this week. I would start Konsa with the home fixture against Milenkovic. Jeevan Gill, start Gvardiol or Konsa? I'd start Gvardiol there. I mean, just to answer that question, because it is a bit of a closer one. So let's look at this. Gvardiol or Konsa. So Man City have 27.5% chance. Aston Villa have 29% chance actually. So yeah, based off that, I'd start Konsa. I take it back. I would start Konsa over Gvardiol. Less of an attacking threat though, so keep that in mind. Okay, motoring on with these questions. Good game week to play assistant manager chip? Yes, it is indeed. Yes, it is indeed. Okay, Silly Sardines, great name. What cap do we do? Isak, Palmer or Murphy? Isak for me. Offside Footy F1. How's this wildcard defence sound, mate? Saliba, Milenkovic, Gvardiol, Burn. Fifth slot, choose from Munoz or Kanate. I've no bench boost or triple captain. Free hit 34 and assistant manager 35 to 37. Sounds like you've got a really good plan there, mate. I would say between Munoz or Kanate, I really like Kanate. I really like Liverpool defence, to be honest. That would be my advice. Hayden Lau, Saka, Gordon or Murphy? To start, I would say in order, Saka, Murphy and then Gordon. If you're looking for a transfer in though, I would say Saka. Milenko doesn't really read the chat, lol. Oh, sorry. I think that must have been from earlier. I was doing my team, but hopefully I answered your question now, Milenko. Anonymous L, have you ever thought about going no Salah? I have never thought about that. I literally have never. I love Salah. I think he is an absolute lock into this team, into my team, no matter what. Sam Williams, assistant manager, Potter or Frank? I like Potter this week. I do. JH, captain is tough decision this week, mate. It is tough, but I like the look of Isak. I do like the look of Isak. The yellow flag is putting people off, but he plays Leicester. Uh, you never walk alone says good game week to play assistant manager chip. Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed on Potter. I like Potter this week. Alex Escobedo, I recognize you. Welcome back. Estupinian to Van Heck / Dunk should be enough to make money for Asensio. Yeah, it would be. It would be. But I don't want Asensio this week, so I'm happy to keep Estupinian with his high upside attacking potential. Sohail again, keep Saka over Palmer. One further reason for Sarr over Marino is Sarr did well in the reverse fixture. Grabbed a brace, I believe. Also Brighton in poor form. Yeah, I mean, are Brighton in poor form? That is something worth considering. Yeah, they've lost one, drew one, but before that they won 4 games in a row, and like they did lose. They drew against Man City, which isn't, they drew against Man City, which is okay, I suppose, and they were away, and then yeah, they lost against Villa at home, but they got absolutely battered. So it's a tough one. Yeah, I just like I like the look of those fixtures, to be honest, and I only need them for 1 week, so. Oh, sorry. I was looking at Brighton's fixtures there. What I meant was you're looking at Marino versus Sarr. Yeah, it is a tough one. I think the reason I've started Marino is just because, he's not a lot of people have him, and a lot of people will have Sarr. Maybe I'll start a little poll. I'll start a little poll. So I'll say start 1. Start Marino or Sarr. Okay. I'm going to put this into the chat and see what you guys think. Let me know. I'll put a little emoji for you guys so you can see it. Okay. Put it in there. Cool. There we go. There's a little question for you guys. So I'm going to try get through all these questions, but there's a lot. Milenko, double Villa defense against 0-0 Forest plan is very tempting to me. Yeah, I like that plan. Yeah. Villa have a high clean sheet odds now, so I see the benefit of playing them this week. Play Sarr or Savinho, Jack says. I would play Sarr. FPL Hawk, no triple city. Not yet, but for the game week 33, I think I will. Jeevan Gill, Everton defense for 32 and 35. Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look. Everton defense. The thing with me, I know they're a good defense, but they're not a good team. So yeah, they played Forest here, and then 35 they play Ipswich at home. I mean, listen, those fixtures are good. But I do think Forest can score against Everton, and I do not like, as a general rule, I try not to pick teams playing who are in the bottom half of the table. So let's go here so you guys can see kind of what I'm working with still. Okay, keeping going on. Amin Shamat, Saliba, Gvardiol, Munoz, Burn and Konsa. Which 3 to start? Raya is my goalkeeper. I'd start Saliba, Burn and Konsa there. FPL Hawk, you need emergency transfers in case of Marino benching. I don't think he'll get benched, thankfully. I don't think he will. I think we're okay for that. Vibav says, hey, bench 1, Rodgers or Sarr. Already have Mateta. I'd bench Rodgers there and start Sarr. Yeah. JH, would you start João Pedro or Savio, mate? I would start João Pedro with those penalties. Coachy says, but you already answered Son over Palmer, though. Yeah, I think you... I just meant for this week. Son is a better pick than Palmer, just for this game week. But as a transfer in, I mean, it depends on chip strategy, doesn't it? It really depends. There's so much... It's a loaded question. But I've gone for Palmer because he has good fixtures this week and next week. And then I'm going to get him in for Saka in 33. Gather Squall says, who to start out of Konsa, Milenkovic or Nico Williams? I'd start Konsa there. Psycho Bingo, Son only 33% predicted to start. Yeah, that's not good enough, is it? Really not good enough. Aaron Emberson, play Foden or Sarr this week? I would play Sarr for sure. Foden's such a minute's risk now. Amin Shama, Saliba Gvardio. Oh, I think I already answered that. Nydorf, what's the deal with Brighton players? They've good fixture in 32, so I'm gonna get him in for that when I'm bench boosting 32. Ethan Rogers, Gabriel to Saliba or Burn? I would say Gabriel to. I like Burn. If you don't have a triple Newcastle, they're just such a solid pick. They have a great entry point now with Leicester away as well. Naz says, when are you triple captaining? I'm thinking of triple captaining in Game Week 33. Before we continue on, guys, I'm just wondering, should I keep Saka now? Should I just go for Saka instead of Palmer? I'm starting to doubt the move. Like, I'm starting to doubt the move. There's two things I'm really considering. The two things that I'm looking at, guys, are Saka instead of Palmer, and like I might go for a Chelsea player over what do you call it? Over a Stupinian. So it's a tricky one. Do I want to double up on that? I mean, I just maybe should save the transfer here. Save the transfer. You know? Wait, did Palmer drop in price? No, sorry. I've gone back for Saka. I've gone back for Saka. I don't know. I think this is the team I'm set on. I do think like there is some injury issues with Brighton though, so I'm maybe considering a move there. But for now, I'm happy with how this team looks. I am happy. Like, what is Brighton's injury situation? Let's check their squad right now. I'm doing my best to answer all these questions while also figuring out my own sort of team, guys. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, if we go into this fixture, that should say the players benched, or sorry, the players injured. The keeper's injured: Webster, Kajoglu, Igor, Veltman, Lamptey. I mean, Jesus, they have so many injuries, don't they? They have so many. But this back line is still solid. It is still solid. Now, do we think Chelsea can keep a clean sheet compared to, not this week, but just in general, compared to like Chelsea against Ipswich at home? I don't know, man. I think Chelsea can always concede, and Brighton's defence has been so solid. It's a tough one. It is a really tough one. Sorry, let me look. Yeah, their form hasn't been great though. Like lost, and then they drew. They did get a clean sheet here though, I suppose. But yeah, like when's the last time they kept a clean sheet? These two games here. One of them was against Chelsea. They battered Chelsea in both of those fixtures as well, which is crazy. I mean, like Chelsea have been really solid defensively. Like only conceded one goal the past 3 games. I mean, in the Premier League, yeah, they've been really solid defensively. Clean sheet. Is that 4 clean sheets in a row in the Prem? Is that 4 clean sheets in a row? No, it's not. Sorry. Should I just go Cucurella instead? Because who do they play? Maybe it comes down to the 35 fixture as well. Newcastle at home compared to Cucurella in Liverpool at home. Nah. I need him for 35. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my gut and go for what I've gone for already. And I'm gonna keep Saka on the wild card as well. I think I'm gonna keep Saka. Let me just read the poll now. Sarr. Everyone wants Sarr over Marino. Maybe that I have Saka, I go for Sarr instead now because I already have Arsenal coverage. Arsenal have that. I already have that Arsenal coverage with Saka. So yeah, let me go back to my team and show you guys how I'm lining up. This is what we've got so far. Do I start Marino or Sarr is the final decision of the day. That is the final decision. Undecided yet. But hopefully you guys can help me. It looks like, I mean, there's been 124 votes and most of them are saying Sarr. Yeah, it's a tough one. Oh, there's Little reminder: we have 5 minutes until the deadline, guys. 5 minutes until the deadline. Um, yeah, I think it's a tough one. Like, I'm still deciding Saka versus Palmer. I'm still deciding. It's a tough one, though. It's a tough one. I do like Saka just for his. I mean, like, Palmer could probably outscore Saka this week. Like, Saka came on, and how did he do when he came on? I know he only played like 23 minutes and he got a goal. But, like. Oh, Samu, you're in here. I'm texting you here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm just texting my mate who's asking me what my wild card is. So do I want to just save the transfer on Saka? Guys, I don't know. Maybe I just go for Palmer. Maybe I just go for Palmer over the next two. And say, fuck it, like. Sorry to be quiet for the last few minutes of the stream. I'm just getting all my affairs in order with the wild card. I'm very tempted by Palmer over Saka. Very tempted. I'm very tempted. That's not a word. I'll do my best to answer a few quick fire questions over the next few minutes, but bear in mind only, like, let's say 3 or so minutes left. Just letting my mates know. Guys, it's happening. It is happening. Palmer, get in my team. Get into my team, Palmer. Okay, I've gone Palmer over Saka, and I'm going to start Merino. I know you guys all said, actually, let's see how the poll ended up. 62% for Sarr. Okay. Getting him back. Yeah, I just think over the next 2 game weeks, Palmer has a higher percent, higher chance of hauling, especially with Jackson back. Maybe that's the move. Hey, Jack Pepper, come on, lad. I only know one guy with that name. Let's see. And the final, I only have 2 minutes, but should I go for Cucurella as well? He does have higher upside. Let me read the chat. What do people think? Is there any mention of Cucurella? Oh, there we go. Sohail, you've said Cucurella over Estupinian. Yes, go. Okay, yeah. I do like Estupinian for the Game Week 35 fixture, though. That's my only thing. My only thing. Because they play Liverpool home here, and I'd be in a sticky situation. I'm going to stick with Estupinian. I'm going to stick with it and double up on that Brighton defence that week. Yeah, I'm locking that in, boys. I'm locking that in. Let me just show you my team before we... Oh, my screen is lagging completely. But yeah, Captain Isak, boys. And I've started Merino as well. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite. 1 minute, guys. Get your teams sorted. Get everything sorted. Yeah, this is how the wild card is looking. Good luck to everyone. And yeah, just make sure you save your team. Make sure you click save. You do not want a nightmare of not having saved your team. Merino over Sarr. It's a close one. I know you guys all said Sarr. Sarr against Brighton. Merino against Everton. I don't know. I could see it. I just like the upside of him playing up top. But famous last words. Famous last words. Let us see. Lock those teams in, boys. Lock those teams in. 1 minute. Less than a minute. We've got seconds. Okay, there we go. there we go, folks. That is the deadline is among us. It has finished. I'm just taking a quick little screenshot of this team before the FPL page resets and you can't get in to look at your team. Boom. All right, there we go. Guys, let's hope Marino outscores Sar. I didn't listen to you guys. I didn't listen. 39% for Marino, 61% for Sar. Is what it is. Is what it is. I just like the fact that Marino is playing up top. You got to go for it sometimes. Got to go against the grain, boys. All right, lads. That is all for today. Best of luck, everyone. I hope you have a great game week. And all the best. Hopefully I answered most of your questions. They were flying in this week, so I didn't get to everyone, unfortunately. But I'm happy with how that stream went. I'm really happy to have you guys come in and answer, try to help you guys out as much as I can. So, and also just wanted to say one last big thanks to Miko Lenko for sending that super chat in, 10 quid. That'll buy me a couple of pints this, or maybe just 1 pint in London, should I say, this weekend. So, all the best, lads. Thanks so much for coming in. I'm going to end the stream here. Really appreciate everyone coming out. Hopefully it's as sunny where you are as it is in London today. I'm going to go to the park and enjoy a few cans in the park, like the delinquent that I am. And I'll be checking FootMob on my phone the whole time as well, with that Everton-Arsenal game coming up in an hour and a half. So, half an hour until the deadline, until the teams are out. Let's hope that, I'm sure a lot of you will be hoping Timber is starting. So until then, guys, have a good game week. Have a good weekend, more importantly.